Hey, Ed. No, that's not it. going to get.
Well, I'm going up to the camera. I've got my radio.
Welcome and good morning. It's a real pleasure to welcome you to our beautiful Health and Human Services campus. And the weather today is better than maybe I'd hoped for looking at the projection and forecast. At least it's not raining. I do want to introduce a few folks before we begin. I'll start with our county manager, Chantel Robinson. I've introduced her all year as the new county manager. But I decided that she's almost at the 1 year mark. She's no longer new. So, also, we have both of our deputy county managers here. Of course, Denise Price is one of those, and she's actually going to speak a little bit later. We have Kyle Feeney, training to him outside. We talked outside. He's here. He's our other two deputy county managers. We have several department chairs that are here. I see Scott Angel back over there. I see Joshua Smith, director up here in front. I saw Chris Weevil up front too. He is our Parks and Recreation director. Sorry, I see Kirby Robinson as housing and various development housing issues. From From our Health and Human Services Board, we have our chair, Harper, who is here. We nominee, member former commissioner. Also, we have, I'm listening to see right next to Ashley Massey, who's our clerk, here. And we have lots of partners. And I will mention, speaking of partners, we have our partners in mental health management. We have Jackie Copeland, who is our, we're his county. For partners, it's kind of our liaison to Greenville. We also have the new, I'm also finishing up almost 1 year, so I'll put on her new Rita Groff, who is the director of the executive director of partners. We have a lot of other partners who are there as well, to all of them. We also have our Ron Hammond. Way back there. Ron Hamlin is our remote director. So today we're actually celebrating the completion of 3 projects on our Health and Human Services campus. First is this newly renovated auditorium. And I can tell you that during COVID we did a little tour of our facilities around the COVID dollars were very directed to the counties for very specific purposes. One of which was parks was part of it, having parks. And that's the second thing we're going to have today. So maybe a Highland Avenue Park that happened. And in this particular facility, we looked at it, I remember we were talking about it.
I hadn't been in a while, particularly this auditorium. And I remember walking through, I missed Shay Woodbury, our commissioner, Commissioner Shay Woodbury, and we're also going to have Commissioner Connie McDaniel, or both, she's going to speak, and forgive me. But I remember walking into this room, and it looked like a 1962 auditorium. I don't know what the date is out. This close to that. It looks like 60s. It was kind of, this wood was here, which looked great, but nothing else looks the same. I mean, it's the shape, but it has totally been refurbished. And we said, boy, this could be a kind of a nice, kind of intimate setting to have both training kind of meetings, to have community meetings. You could picture some musical kind of things up here. You got a control booth, you got all kinds of possibilities, good lighting. So this has really turned into a wonderful community asset. I do want to mention them with our third building. So number 1 is here, the auditorium. 2 is the park. The third area that we're going to visit today, particularly, is our expanded and our behavioral health center across the street, over this way to the west. And we had basically an empty floor, and it got completely redone. Partners is there. We got our sort of 24/7 opportunity, mental health opportunity there, and that will be available to tour too. That was a big project, and I do want to particularly thank Representative Donnie Lambeth. He actually, this was back in 2021. He actually was instrumental in a particular kind of special session law to be passed that actually provided funds for sort of crisis intervention, as well as, in particular, to expand the services over in our health management system. And actually, oddly enough, that bill partnered us with Charlotte Mecklenburg. So we actually both split dollars in that. And so that project got underway shortly thereafter, and it's been a while, and there have been a lot of folks dealt with some inconveniences and moving people around and doing that upper floor. So we have 3 really special projects. And I think that you'll find our campus is not only more the Health and Human Services campus more functional, but it's actually more comfortable and inviting. I think you'll feel that way. Next, I'm going to introduce Commissioner Connie McDaniel. And it has been my pleasure to work with her for the last 7 years. And I can't believe it's been 7 years. I was thinking how long we've been on the commission together. Last 7 years. And particularly during the discussion of our COVID projects, it was her idea, literally, that we do this project right here, and her idea that we do the park. So 2 out of the 3 of the projects we're looking at today were basically her ideas. And it's a real pleasure for me to welcome my colleague and good friend, but you helped me out this week, another project.
Thank you, Chairman Martin. Before I I start with my remarks, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge someone who was very integral in terms of what we will be seeing today. And if he could please stand, that would be Dr. Fleming Elamine. He was the commissioner on this board, and he was here. And I would definitely be remiss as well because Commissioner Dr. Woodbury is here as well. If she could please stand. She was a part of getting today. So as I have a few prepared remarks, I wanted to say that we are so excited to unveil these new spaces today, your places. Some of you may know that this auditorium existed many years ago, and it was in dire need of renovation, and it was sparsely utilized. But today, we fill the seats for the first time in a long time as we envision all the possibilities of its future. A place of possibilities of future use, a place where the arts and well-being will intersect into a healthier Forsyth County, a space where the community will gather to foster a sense of unity, a place of belonging, a park, not just a park, outside of the door auditorium that stretches to Highland Avenue to Cleveland Avenue, a place that are green spaces, walking trails that are covered to serve as a shelter and amphitheater. A pickleball court. Now, I don't play, but I'm willing to learn. And a basketball court, a story walk, and just behind us, the Mallory Jordan Heritage Center Library branch, which has fences that are inclusive to the accessibility of playground equipment. Across Highland Avenue, you've heard that the park is adjacent to the Highland Avenue Center, and this building was constructed and opened in 2017. The space then, and still we envision to be a one-stop shop for individuals with behavioral health needs. The building now is owned by Forsyth County and has been undergoing a transformation for over a year. It's continuing to support and have services that are existing beyond the behavior care, urgent care center, and it's open now, accessing outpatient services operated by Daymark and the Recovery Center, primary care. Thank you, Dr. Lord, for being here. The offices of partners, thank you, partners, for being here as well, the LNE and the MCO, and a space that includes the county's relocated pharmacy, Stepping Up, and the Substance Use Health Education and Prevention. In addition to a 16 adult facility-based crisis center bed center. The FBC will be operated by RHA, and it will open once the facility is licensed and the license has been obtained. The crisis center will be available for 24 hours a day, providing a safe space for individuals who have to be on their recovery journey. I know that you share the excitement because I'm all smiles today. We took spaces and we have renovated and transformed them for this community, District A. So this belongs to us. Many times I hear our communities talk about things not happening in my community, and this is for us. I know that you again share in the excitement of the new spaces this morning, and we invite you to share in the availability of the new resources with others, and I extend you an invitation to visit. Now, before we begin the tours, I'd like to introduce again Denise Price, our Deputy County Manager, the Health and Human Services Director, to the podium. Thank you so much.
It is really hard to stay on script. I've got to tell you, my heart is happy today because I see friends and partners from so many sectors of our community. I see social services and public health and Bridges to Hope and behavioral health services, and I see our arts partners, and I see our insurance and manager partners, I see our primary care partners, and I see community here today that maybe doesn't know where exactly they fit within this continuum, but we are the village that makes our community healthy. So thank you again for being here. I'd like to take a minute to thank a few special people that have contributed an awful lot to these programs. And I know that I will forget someone, so please know that if I do not mention your name, it does not mean that I do not appreciate you immensely. For our construction partners, I.L. Long did the construction work at the Highland Avenue Center. Stitch did the beautiful architectural work and design. Frank L. Bloom for their work on the park, and MLA for the design, which is absolutely picturesque. It is gorgeous. And for this particular space, Peterson and Gordon, architect, Perry especially. Thank you, Mr. Perry, for all the input that you gave us here. And I mentioned community members too. Stephanie Hurt, who did some beautiful just contributions and given her expertise around the arts, which, well, I appreciate it, but that's not my specialty. So really appreciate people coming to the table to give us their feedback and input. I'd be remiss if I did not mention our partners at Highland Avenue Center. Thank y'all for the hammers for a year, the jackhammers, the moving around, and for most of all, for not stopping to provide us the critical services that you do each and every day. We did it, we made it, we said that we're like one more week closer. Every week we were one more week closer. And sometimes I thought that week kept moving out further and further, but here we are today. To general services, thank you for continuing to answer the phone, although you knew what was on the other end was yet another request. Thank you. James Anderson, John Nance, this wouldn't have happened without you, and for your army behind you, thank you so much. Nia Payne and the entire Evaluation and Planning Committee, thank you for organizing us and making us look good each and every day. To our county manager, Chantel Robinson, thank you for continuing to employ me during this process. And to our Board of County Commissioners, thank you for your vision and your commitment to this community. I wish everyone could sit in the office that I sit in for at least a week and see how genuine and true that is. Thank you. Your energy about the why behind this program is what keeps us going for that week that kept moving another week out. Each of these spaces holds enormous potential to contribute to the health and well-being of our community. As we dismiss, just outside the doors, there's going to be some teams waiting for you. We're going to do some tours. We hope that you will join us. This is one site, and to me, this is a breathtaking space. If you had seen it before, you would understand the relevance of that. The other spaces are equally beautiful, and I would like for you to come, and as you're walking through, think about what does this space mean for me, the services, the supports, the community that I live in, and how do we integrate our community even more into it? Thank you again for being here today. We hope that you enjoy your time with us and let the rain hold out. Thank you. We'll just exit again. I'm looking for my planning and evaluation team. Out the back doors, and there will be again people waiting to greet you. Thank you.
Fox 8.